I love theme park rides, especially roller coasters, and one of my favorite all-time rides would be California Screaming at Disney California Adventure Park opposite Disneyland in Anaheim. It goes from 0 to 89 kilometers an hour in 4 seconds and has a height of 37 meters, resulting in 4.3 G-forces. Now, to help you understand this, a fighter jet can pull around 5 to 8 Gs. And if it gets to 9 Gs in its vertical climb, there is a risk of the pilot blacking out. So this is an intense roller coaster. The ride actually only lasts for 2 minutes and 8 seconds. You know, I find the line to the roller coaster to be a really interesting place. The wait can be really long, and sometimes impatience and nerves and fear can get the better of some people, and they will actually step out of the line. You know, life at times can be just like a roller coaster, with its uphill mountaintop highs, down to the lows and the twists and the turns and everything else that life throws at us. And then there's the waiting. You know, waiting to start school, waiting to finish school, waiting to meet the person of our dreams, or waiting to get married and have kids, waiting for that perfect job. There just seems like there's a lot of waiting. Or maybe you are waiting on God for something and it just feels like you've been in that waiting forever period, just like that roller coaster line. Psalm 27:14. We read this: wait patiently for the Lord, be brave and courageous. Yes, wait patiently for the Lord. Someone who was patiently waiting on God was Abraham. From Genesis 15, we read about Abraham's life. And God promised Abraham that he would have descendants as numerous as the stars. And even though Abraham and his wife Sarah were unable to have children when they were younger and were by then too old to have children at the time of that promise. However, we do know that Abraham believed God, and God saw this and acknowledged it as righteousness. God reinforced the promise over several years to Abraham, but when the promise was not fulfilled right away, Sarah suggested that Abraham take her handmaiden Hagar to have a child. Now, interestingly, Abraham took her advice, and the result of this rendezvous was a child who they named Ishmael. It was not until many years after the original promise, when Abraham was about 100 years old and Sarah was 99 years old, that the promise was fulfilled by the birth of Isaac through Sarah. Now, can you imagine having a baby at 99? I'm half her age, and well, all I can say is no thank you. Because Isaac was the child of promise, not Ishmael, it caused strife in the household because the inheritance of Abraham went to Isaac. The fallout from this decision continues to this day through the descendants of Ishmael, the Arabs, and the descendants of Isaac, the Jews, as they continue to fight over who should own land, especially in the area of Palestine. Now, patience is not the ability to wait, but to keep a good attitude and trust in God while we are waiting. You know, the beautiful thing about the story of Abraham is that God didn't turn around and go, well, you know what, that's it, buddy. You've taken it into your own hands and now my promise is gone. You know, our God is a good God, loving and faithful to his promises. And even though we can mess up at times, he still remains faithful. Pastor and author John Piper says this: the strength of patience hangs on our capacity to believe that God is up to something good for us in our delays and in the detours. Life is definitely like a roller coaster with its highs and lows and ups and downs, but what does it look like for you to patiently trust and wait in God?